Yo, it's JSF. So I've been looking at the Rambo trailer a little more recently and kind of just thinking about Aftermath as a whole and going back and rewatching the Rain trailer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm kind of wondering if you look at these characters, I say Aftermath, but I mean Ultimate. Is Ultimate gonna change the game, or are these characters gonna change the game? Because honestly, just looking at, we haven't seen Melina yet, but just looking at these two characters, they look completely different from not only each other, but from the rest of the cast. Like with Rambo, who his trailer came out the most recently, and I kind of wanted to talk about this when I watched the trailer, but I don't want to make that video 45 minutes. You know what I mean? So I figured I could talk about this separately. Rambo's a Marvel character. He looks like a Marvel vs. Capcom character. He just does. He looks really cool. He looks like they did his character perfectly. Like I've said before, when I first saw Rambo get revealed, I was like, oh no, he's just a man with a gun. But I watched the first two Rambo movies and was like, I totally get it now. He can be really cool. And they did a lot of that. Like some of his moves are literally taken straight out of the movies, which NetherRealm does a lot. His combat style looks to be more up close, more setup, more set play. But I think this may be the first like genuine set play character in Marvel vs. Capcom. I mean, in Mortal Kombat 11, he looks like it's possible to be a set play character. Now, what am I talking about, right? We've seen Rambo use all these traps, right? There are, let's say, there's one, two, three, four, five moments where he has a trap style move, where he puts something on the ground or pulls something off the ground and attacks you, that you see in this trailer. Now we don't know how these moves work yet. It could just be you do a move and something shows up, or it could be you have to literally set something up, and then if they're in the area, he presses the button or does a command, and then the trap gets activated, right? And you see a couple of times in the trailer, he goes down and crouches, and there's a very brief animation. It doesn't look like it has like a ton of startup for these moves, right? Like he kind of just crouches and immediately does something, and then the trap goes pretty far. It covers a good amount of ground, and it might hit low. One of them, it looks like it hits low. Another one, the one that lifts him up off the ground and leaves him hanging like that, looks like maybe if you EX that, that's the launcher, right? And then I'm pretty sure the EX low trap is the log trap. But just looking at some of his moves, right? Like he has the crawl. The crawl he has is like a Chris Redfield move. Chris Redfield, he also has a claymore he leaves on the ground. Chris Redfield in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, if y'all don't know, he also can leave traps or leave mines on the ground. They're not necessarily traps, right? He has Rocket Raccoon's log trap. He has a command role. You could say it's similar to Frank West. I say it's similar to Captain America because he can dive through you. Like when I say he's a Marvel character, I mean he is really a Marvel vs. Capcom character in Mortal Kombat. But I mean that in the best possible way, because that is indicative of new playstyles. He doesn't. I mean, he has a normal up close game. He has at least one throw crushing blow. Stuff like that. He looks like he probably has a good fast mid. But he looks different. Like he doesn't look like he plays the way Mortal Kombat 11 is currently played. Like even like just looking at his wake up 3, his wake up 3 is an explosion and then a back roll, and it's all one motion. You could argue that he can cancel his wake up 3 into a backwards version of his command roll that he just did. But the explosion is definitely his wake up 3. But as soon as it happens, like while you see Terminator get hit, while he's still in hit stun, Rambo is already rolling, and then you see him pull the guns out from the ground. And then again, that's what I'm saying. Like, does he have to plant those beforehand, or does he not have to? He does. He enhances the move when he pulls the guns out, so maybe you can plant it and do it, and if you EX it, you don't have to plant it. I don't know, honestly. It just seems like this could be a situation where there is a set play character. Like Rambo seems like he can knock you down fairly easily he looks like a character, just looking at his moves, looks like he can knock you down, and he has significant advantage. And that would make sense if he was the set play character, or if he was a set play character, because he needs hit advantage. He needs hard knockdowns. He needs to be able to do that so he has time to, drop the traps or do whatever he's gonna do. Right? He needs time to do that so he can get his game going. That's why I'm kind of thinking he might be that way. And again, they could just be moves you do whatever you want. They might not be that complicated, but you never know. NetherRealm sometimes throws a curveball at us, and this character definitely looks like it. He looks way more interesting. Like, for the Claymore, you see him literally just pull it out, set it on the ground, you run on it, it explodes. That works exactly like a mine or something in any game. Or like Rocket Raccoon is a trap character as well in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I know I said the log trap already, but he also has the other traps. He has like the boulder trap, I think it's the dig trap, where like if you step on those, he has a super that's literally if you step on the mine, you get hit. So it looks like he takes a lot of cues from that for as far as Rambo goes, but I also want to talk about Rain a little bit, because if you look at Rambo, obviously Rambo looks way different. Even Rambo's bow is a stance, right? It's not a normal projectile. But if you want to talk about Rain as well, Rain doesn't look like a traditional Mortal Kombat character. Well, he does, but I mean MK11 character. But he can do what they do as well. Like Rain has 2 throw crushing blows. Rain has a jab string that you can cancel the 3rd hit and go into a full combo. And if we don't know the frame data obviously, but if the frame data is good on that, he can probably shimmy you pretty well. He has really good movement. If his low pokes have significant advantage on hit, like say his down 1, down 3 are like plus 13 on hit or more, then you're going to be able to play him like a character like Nightwolf. But he's going to have more combo ability than Nightwolf. You get what I'm saying? He's going to be able to do more damage because of that. He doesn't have the longest range normals, but he has more tools in the neutral. He has things he can put on the screen to stop you from shooting fireballs at him. You get what I'm like? Rain feels like he has everything except long range buttons, which is what a lot of characters in the game are kind of based around. Not all of them, but a lot of the characters are based on, okay, you have really good range buttons, you have a weapon, you can do this. Rain has a really short range weapon, which is not so common in this game, but he has good movement. His movement looks to be really good. He's got, he can do a lot of combo damage. He looks to have a very viable armor breaker. It looks like these new characters are getting, like, if they don't revamp the current cast, these characters could possibly be extremely, extremely good, because they look like they're given an added step of love, right? Which is a good sign. Like, I think Melina is going to be the same way. Like, when we see Melina, we're going to see some things we haven't seen. Like, we don't really have characters in MK11 as it stands now. There's 1 or 2. There's a couple, like Gears, who can get crazy combo damage and stuff like that. But Rain not only can do multiple launchers in a combo or whatever, but his also looks really flashy. He can also, set up for situations where you don't want to wake up against them. Like something they talked about in the combat cast was dealing with people who wake up with, options, wake up buttons, wake up this, wake up that. Rain literally has a move where he dodges back to and will dodge every wake up 2, up 3 in the game. It'll dodge everyone. It has so much range. And if you don't wake up, cool, he can cancel it and he's safe. If you do wake up, he will punish you and probably crushing blow you. So it looks like they looked at changing some of how the game is played with these characters. And I'm all for it, because I think one of the biggest problems with Mortal Kombat 11 is just its general gameplay. That's the biggest issue with it. And I like that they're at least aware of it. And they kind of talked about it a little bit. And these new characters, like just looking at Rambo, just looking at Rain, they look like they play different than every other character in the game, which is a really, really good sign. And I hope that also means that they're making some significant changes to the characters in the game, right? Like, it doesn't look like they'll struggle at the regular game plan, which is like strike throw mix, which is like, poke into fast mid. It doesn't seem like they will struggle with that. But it seems like they bring more to the table. So, like, to me, that refreshes the game a little bit. If the gameplay goes beyond more than string, you're negative, I do a poke, or I do a string, you do a poke, or you do a grab. Like, it gets dry really fast playing like that. Like, and it seems like these characters have some interesting tools, especially if Rambo really is this set play type of character where he just sets shit up all over the screen, and whenever you get somewhere, he can just crouch down and you get hit with a giant log, or you get hit with a low, or you get, he picks up some guns off the floor. I think that could be a super, super, super interesting way to go about it. But what do y'all think, man? Y'all think I'm just overthinking it? Y'all think I'm making things up? Do you think Rambo looked cool? Do you think Rain looked cool? You wonder what stuff Rain has, because they did say they didn't show everything with Rain. They didn't show his front throw crush and blow. They only showed 2 moves in the last variation, but even in the last variation, right? Like Rain has a string that ends in an overhead, and he also has a low special which you can enhance, and it looks like it'll be safe when it's enhanced. It looks like it, right? That it looks like these new characters are getting a lot of tools. It doesn't look like any of these new characters are bad. And I'm not saying DLC characters are supposed to be bad. And granted, frame data is going to play a big part in this. But it looks like they designed them with a level of detail that was like, no, we want this character to be cool. We want them to be different. We want them to be good. So I think that's a step in the right direction. I obviously think there are some things they need to change. They have not shown Breakaway yet in like the combat caster, in any of the trailers. They haven't shown it at all, which kind of worries me. But to me, it means they probably know like what people have been saying about it. Because I think if they were to show it and it wasn't changed, people would, kind of go crazy. But maybe they're gonna wait and show that it is changed in the last combat cast. Who knows? But anyway, like I always say, if y'all like the videos, consider subscribing to the channel. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to read the comments and see what you guys are talking about. Catch me on my next stream, twitch.tv/J_S_F. And yeah, man, just have fun, stay safe. I'm gonna get up out of here. Peace.